than what they ever got under the previous Labor administration.
Question number 6 in McKelvie.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister for Economic Development, what recent reports has he seen on the manufacturing sector?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, thank you for the question. Yesterday, Statistics New Zealand released its economic survey of manufacturing for the December 2013 quarter. Pleased to report to the House that the total manufacturing sales volumes rose 5.7% in the quarter. This is the largest seasonal adjusted increase since March 1995. Meat and dairy product manufacturing rose 15%, which is obviously good, but what's really good is that the whole sector of manufacturing expanded. Sales for 8 of the other 12 manufacturing industries rose in the quarter. For example, transport was up nearly 6%, furniture 6.2%, seafood up 2.7%. It's fair to say this is undeniably very disappointing for those trying to manufacture the manufactured crisis.
Supplementary question in McKelvie.
What other reports has he seen on the manufacturing sector?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, I've also seen the most recent BNZ Business New Zealand Performance of Manufacturing Index. Somebody should give this guy a question so he could ask about the crisis, which measures whether the sector is expanding or contracting. The index currently stands at 56.2. It's now been an expansion for 16 consecutive months. I've also seen a survey of small and medium-sized manufacturers by MYOB. Its latest research shows that in the last 12 months, manufacturing SMEs have seen more revenue growth than any other sector, and in 2014, I quote, they expect to do even better. It has undoubtedly been difficult for some manufacturers and exporters with a continuing high New Zealand dollar and a fragile global economy, so the continued growth in the sector is a real testament to manufacturing businesses and their workers. Sadly, I think the opposition will continue to talk the sector.
Order. Point of order. Honourable David
Mr Speaker, I'm loath to interrupt the Minister, but there has been something of a habit in this question time for a range of ministers to drone on and on and on in a seeming competition to give the longest answer to a parliamentary question. And I know how that...
Order. I thank the member for his very helpful comment. Some answers have been significantly longer than they need to be in answering the question. Supplementary question in McKelvie.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. What steps is the government taking to further grow the manufacturing sector?
Well, Mr Speaker,
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
This is a very important sector, and we have a remarkable number of innovative companies in the high and medium-high technology industries carving out market share on the world stage in tough international markets. The government's business growth agenda contains something like 58 separate initiatives. You might learn something, Mr Cunliffe. I'll slow down for you. 58 separate initiatives to encourage greater business investment and research and development, which is at the heart of the sector's success. This includes establishing Callaghan Innovation, lifting R&D co-funding to $142 million a year, the introduction of repayable funding for start-up technology companies distributed by new private sector technology-led incubators, new grants to help companies take on students working in R&D.
Order. I can anticipate the point of order. If it is that the answer is going on too long. Point of order, the Honourable David Parker.
This has happened all question time, and every time it's taken a point of order for you to agree that it is wrong.
The member will resume his seat. I will make a decision as to when I consider the order. The member, I will make a decision as to when I think the answer's gone on too long. I think the member have on both occasions recently raised the question. I'm always eternally hopeful that the answer is about to come to an end. I'm inclined to think it is, and then the ministers get a second breath of wind and continue. So it's not helpful to have long answers, and members should take note that lengthy answers do leave the possibility of disorder to the House. Speaking to the point of order, the Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, I'd certainly accept your point. It's just that in this particular instance, the Leader of the Opposition was declaring his lack of knowledge of the plan, and I felt it was important to list the plan in some detail.
Order. That is not helpful. I do note that throughout that very lengthy answer, the Minister did get his second breath of wind when there was an interjection. If members want, shorter answers, it's helped if they don't interject during question time. Point of order, Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, it may assist the opposition if the length of answers is deemed to be appropriate by your good self if we were to ensure that our questions were of the similar length, and that would rebalance things between the government and the opposition, sir, but it might not lead to good order in the House.
Order. One of the problems today is some of the questions have been quite long as well. I call question order. Question number 7, Eugenie Sage.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for the Environment and asks, will she